Olaf is the living snowman who can make you laugh, belt out songs, and give you warm hugs. But unfortunately, I don't think he's going to live forever. I think this jolly snowman will eventually die, and that's what I'm here to discuss today. Hello, I'm Isaac from Watso Videos, where we discuss fun, and I guess kind of sad at times, topics for fun people. On my channel, I focus on spreading magic by examining Disney films, so if you are new here, consider subscribing. And, of course, Frozen 2 spoilers are ahead. After seeing Frozen 2, it's clear that Olaf is not some immortal being, even though for a while, I kind of thought he was. I'll explain that idea more later, but let's recap the big revelation that occurred about Olaf's life. In Frozen 2, when Elsa enters into Holland, she seeks out the song that had called to her in hopes of receiving the knowledge that will ensure that she no longer feels lost in the world. But when she dives deep into the knowledge the mystical river lays before her, she continues too far and unfortunately drowns. All of a sudden, she became solid ice, similarly to when Anna had her heart frozen, and for a period of time, Elsa seemed to have been disconnected with the world. In the pursuit of understanding who she was, Elsa seemed to have had her life ended. But that didn't only affect her. The truth was that when Elsa became frozen ice, that, for some reason, also brought on Olaf to disappear as well. In a very tragic and very Thanos way of being destroyed, Olaf broke apart into snowflakes and drifted away. Olaf seemed to vanish when Elsa was taken from the world. Even though Olaf had been ripped from Anna in one of her most desperate moments, this, of course, was not permanent, though. In the end, when Elsa was resurrected due to Anna returning the land to order when the dam their grandfather had built was destroyed, the Snow Queen does bring the snowman back to life when she is resurrected, and has her magic present again, since water, in this world, has memories. But that disappearance of Olaf brought on a massive question for me. What would have happened to Olaf if Elsa didn't return? And what will happen to him when Elsa finally does die permanently? When Olaf was given his personal flurry and then his permafrost by Elsa, I thought those were measures to ensure that he would be able to survive forever. In my mind, those were passive actions that Elsa would be able to create, and I thought Olaf's life was the same way. I believed he would just be able to live off the magic around the world, or was in existence just like you or me. I didn't fully realize that Olaf was directly tied to Elsa's magic at all times. It appears that the distance between Olaf and Elsa doesn't affect the snowman's ability to live at all, and having Olaf live off of her magic doesn't seem to strain Elsa in any noticeable way, since she didn't even know he had come to life in her first adventure, and only seems to have her powers continue to grow over time. But from what we have seen, it seems that Elsa has to be alive for Olaf to be as well, and I assume this would extend to all of the other beings she has created. Marshmallow and the Snow Geese, who all live in Elsa's ice castle, are likely all connected to her and her magic as well. Do all of these living snowmen and likely snow women have to die though? Could someone else in Arendelle or the Enchanted Forest help them? Can Olaf live after Elsa? I think there would need to be someone who is deeply connected with the magic of the world to keep him alive. Maybe the trolls or the spirits could channel their understanding of the mystical powers of the world to keep Olaf alive, but I am concerned that might not be enough. Grandpappy has been shown that he can manipulate the powers Elsa wields, and the spirits of nature have a great deal of control within their land, which even allowed them to grant the abilities of the fifth spirit to Elsa, though I don't know if Elsa's life-giving magic is something that they can do as well, or is specific to the fifth spirit. Thinking about that right now, it seems like they should be able to bring things to life because nature had to create all of the people and animals and plants to begin with. But I'm not exactly sure if nature itself, if the four spirits were the ones to create life at all, because who created them? Who created everything? That's a theological discussion, though, that I don't think we're going to totally get into in this video, because we're mainly just focused on exploring magic. I think it could be possible that Elsa, given that she is the only person who has full control over the intelligent element of water, could be the only person who has the ability to create frozen life. I mean, all of the playful snow geese, Marshmallow, and Olaf all derived their traits and personalities from the mind of Elsa, while we have yet to see another creature arise from the magic of other elements. I believe it could be the case that if our favorite little Arendellian snowman asked really nicely, he could be empowered by one of the other magical entities in the world before Elsa died. But could they even do that? Even if the other magical entities could create living beings as well, though I think it's unlikely since only water seems to have the property of holding onto memories, I am not sure if they would be able to capture the emotion and purpose behind Elsa conjuring these snow entities in the first place. To see a previous video of mine going into more of the details of why I think Elsa brought Olaf to life in the first place, you can find that video in the description. But right now, I'm just wondering how Elsa's snow creatures come to life at all. Is Olaf entirely his own person, or is he a pure manifestation of Elsa's emotions? Or is he and all of his brothers and sisters just extensions of Elsa herself? If Olaf is fundamentally a creation of Elsa who now only relies on her magic, then maybe there exists another magic that can keep him alive within the natural world. But if Olaf is tied to Elsa because he is alive only because he is a part of her that has been able to manifest through snow, then I think he would have to die with Elsa. Maybe he will be untethered from her at some point throughout the rest of Elsa's life, especially since they now know that the disappearance of Elsa's magic would end him as well. I hope they find a way to make that happen. I love how optimistic, childlike, and pure Olaf is. His recaps, jokes, and songs are always a joy for me when they come on, and I genuinely think he adds a lot of happiness to the Frozen saga, so I hope he will be able to continue to survive from the mysterious magic that surrounds the people and spirits in the world. But even if Olaf disappears, just as he had when he flurried away when Elsa was frozen, I have faith that the memories within his water, ice, and snow will live on until another source of magic brings him back. So maybe in that way, he can never truly die.